Following controversial remarks made by a Haitian-Bahamian man on our newscast on Friday night after the demolition of a Haitian shanty town, that matter is reportedly being investigated. Government officials are urging Bahamians not to create hysteria on those basis of those comments, with the International Organization for Migration estimating that in 2009, between 20,000 to 50,000 undocumented Haitians lived in the Bahamas. Recently, efforts have intensified to ensure that the country's integrity is not undermined due to illegal migration. The Ministers of Immigration and the Environment addressed the issue at a press conference this afternoon. Sieska Adderley has the details.
Law enforcement officers are now investigating remarks made by Mitchell Sidor, a resident of a shanty town in Joe Farrington Road that was demolished on Friday. Addressing the issue Sunday, Immigration and Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell urged Bahamians not to create divisions where there isn't any and not to get carried away with what was said. With 2,800 Haitians out of more than 3,400 illegals repatriated this year alone, Mitchell strongly advised residents and non-nationals to respect the work of officials charged with protecting the country's borders.
There's no reason to be abusive to public officials who are simply carrying out their job in good faith and in the law. They are taught not to be abusive to any citizen or resident of this country, and so similarly the citizens of the country ought to be respectful. I'm not saying they have to be obsequious. They do have rights as well, but they have to be respectful to authority. We're trying to make sure that the country is properly governed and that people who have the right to live and work in the Bahamas have the means of proving that they are here and here lawfully. And that's all this is, and it's not trying to cause any trouble for any specific group of people.
Minister Mitchell stressed actions taken by his ministry are not discriminatory, but only to ensure the country's integrity is not undermined. Unfortunately, Mitchell says in some cases, Bahamians are to blame for driving illegal migration.
This is not a policy, either the removal of the shanty towns or the question of whether you have permission to live and work in the Bahamas is not a question which is aimed at any specific national group. And we should refrain from pointing it in that direction, because it is not. The matter is a generic policy which applies to all non-nationals who are in the country. And we've also said that we're moving in the direction of a national identity card for everyone who is here.
Housing and Environment Minister Kenrick Dorsett noted that Friday's demolition was in accordance with the law. He says it's all a part of the government's plan to eradicate shanty towns throughout the Bahamas. To date, approximately 6 shanty towns have been removed in New Providence alone, and a lot of them have been reduced in size. But as funds become available, Dorsett says the plan is to remove them.
While it is a highly emotive issue, we are following the law and enforcing the law. But even in doing so, I think that the government has been incredibly reasonable. And we work together with communities. And the Ministry of Social Services and the Minister in particular has taken a hands-on approach in dealing with these issues, because we know how sensitive it is, and we want to make sure that we do so as best as possible to ensure that we would not have these sort of reactions from persons who reside in the Bahamas.
Recognizing that unchecked illegal migration could lead to civil strife, the immigration minister reiterated that steps are being taken to bring the matter under control. Sieska Adderley, ZNS Network News.